trouble keeping up with the Joneses? Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Green Bay Packers. From up top, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous is, if you're a defender, hope you prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
Certainly the game of the weekend, maybe the game of the year, the battle of the unbeatens as we get underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Packer offense led by number 12, Aaron Rodgers. And the Pack in an unfamiliar position this year. They have not made the playoffs for 2 years running. 6-9-1 a year ago. And now with a new head coach in Matt LaFleur, no guarantee certainly that they'll play meaningful football in January this year. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Still a few inches short. Come up now on second down. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. So here come the Cowboys onto the field with excellent position to get things started. They will be led out by their veteran quarterback now in his 16th season from NC State, Phillip Rivers.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
Yeah, 180! 180!
A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch the screen. Shift. Room.
From the gun, Rivers. Staying on his feet. Just keeping the play alive. And he's going to keep it here. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though.
Hey, watch it. Quick the edge. Come.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
All day, every day, any day. Hey, switch gears. Sponge. No. Shift. Slam. Check 52.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And some room to run now. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Clock 11! And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. He's coming. We got double up.
On 1st down, here's Love. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
That first down completion only netted them 3. Second and 7. Now Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 23 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on him.
Let's go.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking scheme. Maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage. And, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes.
Load it. Load it. 50 to Mike. Hey, wahoo. Watch the out. Watch the out. Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike 50.
On 1st and 10, Rivers keeps himself upright. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Hey, Rocket. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. They're not ready. Hey. Ready for this. They still playing soccer.
To throw is Rivers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory.
Let's go.
A big play here for Dallas. 49 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. 49. Check 49. Orange 5-4. SOS.
This is Love. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script, I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing just about on his own goal line.
That's the end of the first quarter, with the score Cowboys 14, Packers 0.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. Avoids him at the 40. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Hey, 79! 79! Mike 51. Well, baby, come on, let's go. 5. Mike 51. Mike 51. All day, baby. Red Delta. Mike 51.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Check 25, check 25. Check. 12.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Watch QB drop. Check 31. Check 31. He's coming. Double up. Double up. Hey, Rocket. Check 50. Check 50.
Now Elliott. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop.
50, my 50. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son.
Throwing Rivers. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Cooper's first catch, and good for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense. Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Green 80, block 11. Watch the block, watch the block. Watch the block, motion, block. White, 80 behind.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers forced out to us. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Back to Blake Martinez.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Third and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Here we go, D, get off the field. 51 to Mike. 50. Hey, orbit. Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Behind.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Extra point attempt to come here. And it is now 21-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. To throw, it's Rodgers. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They get Elton Jenkins, the second rounder from Mississippi State.
Let's go. Green 18. Here we go. Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Hey, Green 18.
Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I'm going to get you.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Green 18. I got him. Watch left. He's tight right there.
Throwing on second and long. Rodgers, the pass complete to Ryan Graham. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Packers on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 17. Throwing is Rodgers. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete.
It's easy one. He's coming again.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
Mike 50. Push him back.
A first down throw here for Rivers. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Kill.
Red.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike.
Hey, Mike 7.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. All day, just like that. Just like that.
12.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Double dog. That's the way. Go. Mike 51.
Cluster.
It's a party now. It's
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rivers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike's 50. Okay, double up.
Buffalo one.
Hey, Mike's 50. Here we go. Mike's 50.
Rivers. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Kevin King. with a pick.
Good job.
And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium. With the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. There's Rodgers to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces... Fourth down. So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick. But now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move lateral.
Shot, baby. That's a baby shot.
Run 80.
Lights 57. 57's low. Your track. Your track.
Hey, Delta.
Hey, check Mike 57.
On 2nd and 9, Rivers. He's got the connection to Cooper. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Hey, 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 hey. 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Hey, go orange.
Screen.
Orange. Flick.
Now Rivers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where you see the final score there. 35-7 was your final in a one-sided affair. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. 28-10, the final. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Here we go.
So here are the Cowboys to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go. Mike 50, Mike 50. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Hey, Delta!
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. In your
Now Rivers. Wide open receiver complete. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play here for the Cowboys. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Under 10. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Let's roll on.
Here's Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys turn that interception into a touchdown. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
I got you.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point.
319.
Here we go.
On play action, now Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Come on, man. We better than that.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Next drive. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter.
Set 180, block 15.
Check, 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 check.
Check, 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 check.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. Kill, 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 kill.
White.
Check 3, check 3.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. These Cowboys looking good here at AT&T Stadium. Of course, they were really good in this building last year, 7-1 in their 8 games played at home. The only loss was on a Monday night to Tennessee. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Bang, 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 bang. Check, check.
Hey, go orange. Orange.
Watch safety creeping.
Again, it's Elliott. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective.
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 77 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Point after try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and his crease
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It's been a tough one all. Now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's J.K. Scott now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Watch the slant. 57's the mic. Watch 57. You don't want none of that. Give it. Pick up the ball.
Mike's 57. 57. You. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
1st down, Rivers. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Easy.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. Bring it. 57.
Rivers on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
6 guys. Load it. Alpha.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. Watch the slant.
White 89.
From the gun, Rivers. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and then it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Coming. Shift. Watch the shift. Hatchet. Hatchet. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Left.
Check hot route.
Behind.
They'll try to run this one in. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
Left to right.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Yeah, that's what I do.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike.
You ain't doing
Haywood.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this. Now the try here for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. Whoosh. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
51, Mike. Mike 51. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Check 9, check 9. Q, Q, Q.
Room.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dean Lowry down for what's going to be.
Flat out cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Mike 51. Mike 51.
I got it.
Hey, zoom.
Mike 51.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Hey, Rocket.
51's the Mike. 51's the Mike. Time to go. Night, night. 51's the Mike, boys. 51. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, 79. 79.
Mike 51. Mike 51.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you.
Go.
Don't get nervous.
51's the Mike. 51's the Mike. Hey, we got to get this stop here.
To throw, Rivers. And the pressure gets to him again. Zadarius Smith. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and forever. Throwing Rivers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put your...
Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. With it is Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Rodgers. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Ryan Grant, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
It's our field.
Load it.
It's our field.
Load it.
Hey, it's our house. 57.
Following the interception here, Rivers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day.
To throw again, Rivers. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Phillip Rivers with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit. Think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker. to change things up.
Exactly. Whatever the case, something to mix it up here. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, pick up a first down.
Blue 58. I got you. I got you.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Rodgers now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Rodgers to throw once more. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And the 12-year veteran. 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Spins past him. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout,
because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw that happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
You ain't got nothing.
Kill.
Hey, I'm gonna go load it. Load it.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Joker. Jam.
Alpha.
3.
This is Elliott. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Watch that.
36.
Cluster.
On second down, Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
Tight end right. Everyone's got 4 down. Mike's 50. Let's get the ball.
Rivers. Complete to Jason Witten. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Rivers now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis,